where does it come from? Like this practice of nurturing yourself, where does it come from? Is it just to help the mind go into wholesome state?
Well, I use the word nurturing in the sense of Eric Berne talked about the parent ego state, and that he talks about it in the sense of the critical parent versus the nurturing parent. Now, the nurturing parent, I think that you've understood, you've heard me talk about that when a mother gives birth to a child, within a short period of time, an hour or so, when she receives the child after it's had a bath, and so has she, that they present the child to the mom, and that's a moment of bonding. That's the moment where the mother really takes the child, and that bonding, nurturing lasts for more than 2 years. I think, in fact, that when the child sees himself as separate from mom, that's when mom also sees the child separate from her. They call it the terrible twos. And that the first word that a child really learns in that regard is the word no.
Okay.
All right. Which sets up a competition between him and his mom. And that's when the mom's way of doing it turns from nurturing to critical.
Oh,
And that she
okay.
spends the rest of her days as that child is to try to teach him to become socialized, to come out of his arrogant little terrible twos tyrant and become civilized. But
Mhm.
she doesn't do that by nurturing his 2 year old tyrant. She does that being critical. All right. And so the child misses that nurturing. We want to be loved, to be well loved, no matter what. We want to be accepted, whether we're terrible or not.
Mhm.
And so this is where Eric Byrne comes back in with that issue about we have to re-nurture. That a mother who will be nurturing to her child, the child will feel nurtured and loved for the rest of his life. But almost all of us, um, let us say, get out of balance and are overly critical and underly nurturing because we learned that from our mother. And
Mhm.
so that's how we behave to ourselves.
Mhm.
Okay. And so you'll have common language such as take care of yourself, and that taking care of can be nurturing, or it can be taking care of also in a critical way, in the sense of watch out, do what you're told to do. And that often we begin to care for objects and attach to those objects, not in a nurturing way, but in a critical way, in the sense of, oh, I can't do without it.
Mhm.
All right. And so going back to the nurturing is the right way to do it is, and you heard me use a lot of language that has a nurturing quality to it, like everything is okay, the kind of stuff that you would tell to an infant.
Yeah, it's your baby. Okay.
Yeah, everything is all right, not a problem, no worries, everything is okay. So
Mhm.
that would be nurturing language.
Mhm. Mhm.
Nothing to be afraid of. You're okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. And that's also what we can call as acceptance or unconditional love. We need to unconditionally love ourselves rather than the conditional love, which is also the the critical. Now, in the Western world, they actually promote critical thinking.
Yeah.
Rather than nurturing thinking. And so now that puts us really overboard. Now, what they mean by critical thinking is often used in the sense of you have to look all the way through it.
Okay.
But the word critical is still criticism. And so we wind up criticizing that which we are critically thinking about.
Okay.
Rather than, oh, you're spoofing me, that you can nurture the one who is spoofing you. You can tease them joyfully rather than, you dirty son of a gun, you're trying to hoodwink me. You're lying to me, okay, which is again critical. And so we can actually practice that nurturing. And as you were saying, there's some things that continue to trigger you. What that means is that they trigger your critical nature. And it's actually not nature in real life, it's actually just the normal way that we have been trained.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So let us redefine that in the sense of nurturing is more natural, but critical is the norm. That's the normal. All right. And so there's ways of retraining ourselves to be nurturing. Okay. You have now probably heard about when metta meditation is taught in Vipassana, they teach it in the sense of don't try to have metta for your worst enemy. Have metta for your close friend. To have nurturing feelings towards your close friend, because we will naturally be or normally be critical of our enemy.
Yeah, because it's easier to have metta to our close friend, right?
Right. Okay. So in your case now, what we can do is we can actually practice thinking about those things that trigger you naturally, or start thinking about that which you would consider an enemy and have nurturing thoughts towards it. In other words, we're going to start doing anapanasati, having wholesome thoughts for those unwholesome things.
Yes.
All right. And in fact, we have we have words like Mara or devil and things like that. Okay. And also like the 2-year-old tyrant, we can still nurture that tyrant. We can still nurture that critical part. We can nurture our enemy, but we have to practice doing that.
Okay.
Okay, that's the real meditation or the real practice that we have to have, so that when we have gotten well practiced at nurturing our enemy, when he comes actually knocking on your door, now with mindfulness, you have a choice. Am I going to nurture this guy, or am I going to be critical of him? And now this enemy that you're talking about could in fact be a husband, a boss, that little hooligan down the street, whoever it is that we normally have critical thoughts for. Then in fact, one of the things that you could do is make a list of all of the worst people in your life. Make a list of the things that you don't like.
Yeah,
And
and
now,
try to
in your
generate.
practice, you can think of those things on that list with nurturing thoughts. Practice nurturing for
Yes,
those
okay.
things that trigger you.
All right. So
Going back to the metta, learn to have not just metta for your friends, but also learn to have metta for your enemy, or in the language we're using, nurturing.
yeah, so I think the thing I need to practice metta towards are not people, it's mostly behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Well,
yeah.
that's very Christian of you. They say love or don't hate the person, hate their behavior.
Okay. They
Okay,
say that? Okay.
right. That's something is that the Christians say that what is the devil is their behavior, but they're okay. But in this case, what we're going to do, we're actually going to say that what we're calling bad behavior is actually normal. It's okay. The only reason why that behavior is bad is because we've been critical of it in the past,
Mm,
and now we can become um, nurturing towards it.
mm-hmm.
Even let us use an example of loud or crude language. We don't like loud or crude language. That's what I was meaning by the terrible twos of the little tyrant. He's
Mm-hmm.
saying no. And mom becomes critical of that no. She becomes critical of that low class language. But here we're going to practice nurturing it.
Well, this is really a mental gymnastic, right?
Yes, it is. It takes right, noble effort.
Yes, yes, yes. But I need to find how to be nurturing because, okay, let's go to the point. Like, what triggers me mostly is like arrogance and like
Hmm.
arrogance in racism, for example, really triggers me. And I'm wondering how I can change the thought so that it become nurturing towards that behavior. I
Well,
can you
in a
help me?
way, right, in a way, arrogance and racism are precisely the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I
I'm
agree.
better than you are,
I
and
agree.
now I can find the ways.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
find the ways being skin color, then we call it racist. But if we just say I'm better than you because I'm smarter than you are, then that's arrogance.
yes.
Okay. Guess what? Those little tyrants who do that just got away with it.
Sorry, I don't
And
get it.
yeah, they got away with it when they were little.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And that here you are being critical of it
Uh-huh.
because you don't like it.
Yes.
Instead of just saying, oh, right, I've seen that before, been there, done that. Okay. So they're arrogant, they're racist, they're critical of you. An example that I would use for my own past is when I was in high school, I ran across bullies with every new school that I went to. Well,
Mhm.
guess what? I have, in a way, gotten used to the bullies.
Okay.
So when somebody tries to bully now, I've been there, I've done that. I've been bullied before. I got over it. I can get over this one.
Yeah,
Hey, I've even
that's true.
seen better bullies than
That's true.
you.
Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good way to see it.
Yeah, I've been there, I've done that. Okay. This is
Mm.
actually coming from Sutta number 22,
Okay.
where the Buddha
Majjhima
talks
Nikaya?
about it in the sense, well, the first thing he says is both formerly and now, I only teach one thing, and that is dukkha, dukkha, nirodha. I only teach one thing, dukkha, dukkha, nirodha. Okay. In Sutta number 12, the lion's roar, we have that very, very famous line that even the monks memorize and say. You've heard it before. Iti piso bhagawa araha samma sambuto icha charana sampano gavidu, okay, etc. Now that point in that sutta is that the Buddha says, how can anyone believe that just by coming to the Four Noble Truths? The Four Noble Truths, because the Buddha came up with the Four Noble Truths, does not necessarily make him a knower of the world, doesn't make him super duper special or anything. And so the people's praise for him is misguided.
Okay.
The praise for him, Ipituso Bhagavara Sama Sambuto, the Buddha does not regard that. He
Okay.
disregards it. On the other side, when someone comes to revile him, he does not have any dejection of heart. So there's no elation of heart when somebody reveres him, and no dejection of heart when he is reviled. And then he says, why is that true? Basically, because he's talking about it, it's happened before. I've gotten used to it. And the phrase that I use is been there, done that.
Okay.
So when someone is arrogant to you, you could just say to yourself, oh, been there, done that. I've been around arrogance before. I survived quite well. No need to have dejection of heart because they're arrogant. No need to have dejection of heart because he's racist against you. Because how many times throughout your whole life have you been around racists? Why do you have to be critical to them? Why can't you learn to be nurturing? Because, I mean, after all, it's not going to stop.
Mm.
There's no reason to be critical of racist. That's their training. But you can retrain yourself. Instead of being critical of them, you can say, oh, well, you're not going to bother me. I've been around racists before, been there, done that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah.
But
I
you
mean,
have to practice this off on your own. You need to go into seclusion and then bring that racist to mind and chuckle and say, ha ha, you can be racist all you want to, and you're not going to get to me.
okay. That's interesting. Yeah, very interesting. A new training. Woo! Great.
Yes, this is a deeper training.
Yeah,
Is to
very
go
deep.
after and give metta to those enemies of yours. We call them enemies, but in fact, they don't even think that they're enemies. They're just being naturally racist.
So I get the point about telling myself I've been there, done that. I can do it again, no problem, because
Mm-hmm.
it relieve my mind and it relieve the anger. But I don't really understand how it would transform into meta, because
All
when you
right.
say
Well,
you don't
you
need to
start
change.
again then with yourself. You nurture yourself when the racist is there, and say he may be racist, but I'm okay. He can't
Yeah,
touch me. I'm all right. Not a worry in the world. I feel good, in fact. And after you learn to feel good in the face of the racist in your mind, then you can learn to feel good in the face of the racist in actuality. This is something we have to practice. So go get a racist, go get his photo even, and practice. I'm okay. He can't touch me. He can revile me all he wants, and he can't bother me. He can't touch me. I'm
okay.
okay. And so
Yeah,
that's the time you nurture yourself first. And if you get really good at it, you can just nurture him and tease him.
yeah, okay.
Hey,
Mhm.
you're really quite a racist today, aren't you?
Okay, yeah. That would be fun. I would
Yeah.
love to get there, you
Yeah,
know.
nurture his racism. Wow, I can tell you what, I know where people are that can teach you how to be even a dirtier, low class racist than you are now. You're not even halfway good enough to bother me yet.
Okay.
Okay, so we can play with this. We can Gucci Gucci goo with this. We can nurture it. So practice well.
Yeah.
Practice well. I can handle this. Practice well.
Yeah.
This racist can't get to me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. I will do that.
Same way with criticism. That in fact, criticism and arrogance and racism go hand in hand together. When
Mm-hmm.
people are racist, they're criticizing you for your color. And when they're arrogant, they're criticizing you for whatever they can make up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or yeah. Or they're
And,
being
and
arrogant
guess
with
what? They
me because of my
cannot.
color, and they don't even realize that they are.
hmm And guess what? They cannot destroy your joy when it's well practiced.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I guess that's something that has to be practiced. So.
It is something that has to be practiced. Why? Because you're well skilled at getting critical. So now
Okay.
practice to become well skilled at nurturing yourself so that you don't have any dejection of heart when they criticize or revile you.
Okay.
Hey, I've been there, done that. I've had worse than you.
Okay.
Well, I've had people so critical that they really made me feel bad. And here I am joking with you. You're not a very skilled racist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I
All
give
right.
you a C minus for your arrogance. You're not nearly as arrogant as some of the people I've seen before.
Yeah, I would love to get there.
Well, practice,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
practice.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do is you practice. You
Mm-hmm.
practice listening to them criticize you and you say, ha ha, you can't get to me. Ha ha, you're not going to make me feel bad. I've been criticized before
Mm.
and I can
And
handle it again.
okay, I didn't really get what you said about the sutta of Itipiso and the fact that the Buddha didn't like
Yes, it's in Sutra number 12. I invite you to read it carefully,
so.
where he says, how can people get the Four Noble Truths and believe this about me? Because that's all he
Okay,
teaches is the
okay,
Four
okay, okay.
Noble Truths. He does
Uh,
not he does not teach that he's the seer of the world. He does not teach that he's um a trainer of all people, devas um and men. He doesn't claim that.
mm-hmm,
He only claims that he teaches just one thing, and that's the
mm-hmm,
Four Noble Truths.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, okay, I will
Sutra
read
number
that.
12 in the Majjhima Nikaya, if you want to go look for it.
Okay, yeah, I will. I will
It's
look into it.
surprising. It's really eye opening where the Buddha says that he only teaches the Four Noble Truths. He only teaches dukkha, dukkha, nirodha. So, how can people get this stuff about him being a god, the knower of the worlds, the trainer of devas?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Yeah, that's very simple. I love this. And yeah, about simplicity. Like when I talked, like thank you to you and Michael send me friends, I can practice with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. I mean, this is a very good training. And so, and so, but usually when I talk to them, I didn't talk to so much of them, but when I talk to them, it's uh, they don't believe in simplicity, like they don't think that it is so simple, that the teaching are so simple, for them it's always something very complicated, and you have
Right.
to.
Okay. Well, arrogant people love complication. They love
Yes.
duality. They love one up and one down.
Mm-hmm.
And we're
Mm-hmm.
big fans on unity. Everything's the same. Let's nurture this because it's all the same. Then, in fact, that one up and one down is where that criticism comes from. The critical parent, the critical mind is caught in duality. And the
Mm-hmm.
nurturing is in unity.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, when your mind is united, like when your mind is I don't know how you say, not concentrated, but what is your word?
Well, I would use equanimity or samadhi when the
Oh,
mind
okay.
is whole. When you're
Yeah,
a
yeah,
whole person,
yeah,
when you're unified in the
yeah.
mind.
Unified. Yeah, when your mind is unified,
Hmm.
yeah, okay, like you can nurture yourself, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so what were you saying? You were saying that people don't like uh, simplicity. Arrogant people, they don't like simplicity. It is based on
Yeah, they
duality.
put the Buddha way up high, and he's teaching people to just be happy, just be natural, just avoid the dukkha.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
choose
to
the
nurture
right
rather
path.
than being critical.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, 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 okay. Uh, and so your teacher was saying that Nibbana was available in every moment, right?
Yes, Bhikkhu Buddhadasa says, in fact, there's a book that he's written. We've had it on our website called Nibbana for Everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nibbana for everyone.
Yeah, people don't believe in that.
No, they want to have duality. They want to have special way out there someplace.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes. They don't believe that it's not enough. Like just being happy in the moment and just repeating, and repeating is not enough. So so when I talk to people, I'm trying to explain and practice like repeating happiness with them. But yeah, yeah, okay. I guess is it the right way to practice with people?
Yes, practice being happy even when they are miserable, even when they want you to be miserable, even when they criticize you, even when they're racist with you, you can
Mm-hmm,
still be nurturing to yourself and happy.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That you don't show any elation of the heart or dejection of the heart because of what they're saying.
Yeah, okay.
That you're well skilled, you're well practiced, you're well rehearsed.
Mm-hmm. I
All
see.
right.
So
Let
yeah,
us
this is
say that a girl is standing on the street corner playing a violin.
okay.
Okay. And she's playing that violin, and down comes on the street a marching band.
A marching band.
A marching band, a whole bunch of musicians with great big drums, and they're banging and they're blowing their horns. Can
Okay.
that little girl have the presence of mind to keep playing her violin and play her music, even though there's a marching band coming down the street?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can
Mm-hmm.
you continue to play your sweet song, even though they're having a war military march?
Mhm. Yes, I can.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
Mhm.
can play your sweet tune. Yes, you can smile, even though that bully is there, even
Mhm.
though that racist is there.
Mhm.
You're still okay. This needs to
Mhm.
be practiced. So, you little
Mhm.
girl, take your little violin and you go practice.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Practice your joy.
Mhm. 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 Okay.
All right?
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. We'll see you later.
Bye bye. Take care.
Yes, these do. You go practice.